Hello, everyone. Welcome to Max Out Your Life by Ed Mylett, chapters 1 through 4. So I love the title, Strategies for Becoming an Elite Performer. And like everything that he said so far is pretty like stuff we've talked about. It's just all in one place, and very doable, right? Like nothing in this book is like, oh, that's so unachievable. Every step that he has, everything that he mentions to become an elite performer, not just to become an average performer, not just to become some like whatever performer. I'm out of words too, apparently. Again, out of words again, but an elite performer. And so all of these things that he lays out, that he talks about, that he is encouraging with, are all very doable. I love that he really talks. I'm kind of skipping to like chapter 2, but like in chapter 2, he really talks about those habits. So I was just telling Rochelle, like, work is crazy. Like, they're throwing evaluations on me the last week of school. Like, we're supposed to have 30 days to evaluate a kid. Like, it's crazy, right? And that's fine. Like, I can suck it up and work hard. I don't have a problem with that. It's just crazy. So work is crazy. End of school year for my own children is crazy. You guys have been following Ella's track journey. Like, everything's very busy and very crazy. And so leaning into those habits means we can still be successful doing the things without having to think about them. So he lays out his habits and his rituals, and the most important thing about that is making these things so reproducible that we do them without thinking. Like when we go to brush our teeth, we don't think, okay, let me unscrew the top and squeeze the toothpaste and put water on my toothbrush and brush here and brush here and brush. Like we just do it, right? Like when you're brushing your teeth, you're thinking about all these other things. And after reading this book, hopefully you're using that time to think of something positive and that you're grateful for, and can be reflecting on and not in worry. He talks a lot about if you're in worry, you're not moving forward. So I will say, like, my habits of, going to the gym, reading my Bible, listening to a podcast, um, tasks at home, getting my laundry done so that, and I like the way I do my laundry is, Rochelle, I remember that one time you're like, Elizabeth in the laundry all the time, the laundry. Yeah, like I don't know why laundry feels so consuming to me, but like doing the laundry a certain way so that as I'm doing my laundry and folding my clothes and putting them together, I'm like, here's an outfit for Monday, here's an outfit for Tuesday, here's an outfit for Wednesday. Like I'm putting all of this together all at one time so that on Wednesday morning, I get up, I get dressed. I don't have to think about what was I gonna wear? What do I wear? I don't know what to wear, all the things. So he really talks about reacting, like being in this reacting, and that prevents us from making strategic moves. When you're constantly reacting, you're not able to be strategic. You're not able to make those wise choices. This is my little bit of allergies, you guys. Like I've been outside a lot and all this cottonwood. And, before plexus, like I would be like literally wanting to scratch my eyes out right now. So the little bit of sneezing and the little bit, I'm gonna take some ease and it'll go away. So I'm again, so grateful for our products. Um, but reacting, whew, it also is going to be what happens when life kicks you, right? Like when things are happening that aren't ideal or whatever, and it's just this cycle of reaction, and that's really taxing to our mental state too. I love, so going back, like chapter 1, where he really talks about he was this kid that was, kind of gangly and different things, and then he finally, when he got into baseball, really had this recognition and rewards, and people, saw that he was good, and that was really meaningful to him, but it went away so quickly because he didn't have a plan B. So a couple things with that, like a lot of us are PTs, right? So and OTs. We got Jeanette, you're on here too. So I got 3 OTs and 3 PTs, and we got a teacher. We got Steve, who's, gosh, engineer, right? All right. See, okay. Yashana is a business owner, a store owner, right? Like we have people on here that are successful and we have these great careers, but like I don't know, during COVID, us people in the hospitals or working in rehab world were like, well, there goes our job. Like we didn't know what was going to happen, right? And so having Plexus is such a great plan B. And then it can become your plan A eventually, and your rehab can be your plan B. Um, which is such a great place to sit. So, anywho, he didn't have a plan B. He had the surgery. He was down in the dumps, whatever. And he went and was like, I think his dad got him to do that job, um, working at the McKinley Home for Boys that were removed from their homes. And when he realized that he could pour into them, it was life-giving to him, and that then he found purpose, not just existing, not just surviving, but he found this purpose in helping others know that they have a purpose, that they have meaning, that they are meant to be in this world, that they are here for a reason, and helping them discover that was so life-giving to him. And I also feel that, and that it's finding that identity. So he was helping these boys find their identity and he was finding his own. And we also have that with Plexus. Like Fallon. Fallon was like stay-at-home mom selling crocheted items and different things, right? Like her having like Lori Bradford, sorry, she was Lori Welch for a long time when we first started Plexus. Lori Bradford like saw something in Fallon and said, you can do this business, but here's the books you're going to need to read. Like, here you go. And Fallon is an incredible leader. She's an incredible leader. Like, I feel like she always has the right answer. So Jackie and I have had some questions about some situations over the last few years, I'm like, I don't know, let's get on the phone with Fallon. Fallon, when can you talk to both of us? And she always has a plan, and she doesn't even need like to think about it. She just knows. Um, so who knew, right? Like who knew? And look at what this has changed for her family. I mean, she didn't have shoes for her kids. They couldn't go to church because she didn't have shoes for her kids. Um, changed for her family, changed for her legacy, changed for her grandchildren. Like this is such a huge, really her coming into her identity, right? And so us, when we talk about this business opportunity, it's not just making money and having a plan B, it's helping people achieve who they are meant to be. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we're all going to start and farm and have all these side businesses, but it means we are on this purpose of self-discovery in terms of personal growth and knowing who we are in Christ, and that's going to help us develop. He did say, sorry, I like read the whole thing, right? So I'm probably skipping around, but like he said, I want God at the end of my life to say, well done, good and faithful servant. And that is true. It's that we are also told by the Lord to go and spread his gospel and spread his gift that he's giving us to, right? And fulfill our purpose that God has given us, our God fulfilling purpose. I like that he, don't settle for being that 6-year-old self. Like, okay, I never want to be this again. I don't want to stay here as this person. Of course, I'm in the midlife crisis because I'm always working on growing to be the next better version of myself. And when we become complacent, that's when all areas of our life, any area of your life that you're complacent, then things quit moving. He talks about that too, like in chapter 3, like when there's setbacks, is because he stopped doing the things that got him to be successful or his ego got in the way. And that's so true. Like how we kind of think, oh, I developed a new silver, or I did this, or I got some joints. So now I have this, I did it. Well, if we don't keep doing those things, it doesn't stick. It doesn't keep maintaining. It's learning what those processes are to get it to stick. And it happens. Like I'm not saying not business shaming over here, but I think it's good self-reflection to know, like, did I stop doing the successful things? I was thinking about this too. I talked to Jackie about this. Like, what did we do when we started? We were just excited and we shared everything. We shared our book club. We shared our book. We shared a quote. We shared quotes. We showed our pink drink every day. Like then when stories came, like it was this new world when stories opened up that we could do stories. So just be excited and share what works and cast a vision. Okay. Um, just checking my notes here. He really goes over his whole routine, and y'all can read that and identify where you want and make adjustments to your own routine. But he also talks about like gathering our thoughts and thinking and reflecting every morning. And this is true. When I wake up, before I get out of bed, before I really open my eyes, I think, okay, what am I grateful for today? What am I grateful for from yesterday? And I do this when I go to bed too. What am I grateful for? I have journals. I'm not the best at being consistent with journaling, but I go through spurts. And so when I'm in my spurt, I'm journaling those things morning and night. But I definitely am reflecting, okay, what am I thinking of? What am I grateful for today? He has very specific, like happy, what are you happy about? What are you excited about, proud of, great, excuse me, grateful for, enjoying, committed to, and what are you loving right now? So I just loved those prompts. I think those are great prompts. And even if you broke it up and did half in the morning and half in the evening, right? Like that's doable. You can write them in the um margins of your planner when you're writing down your IPA stuff, right? Like you can jot those things down really quick to trigger. Um, I like how he said that champions take control of their lives. They control their thoughts and believing that the outcomes that they desire will happen. So like champions. Okay, again, we're talking champions, and we all on this call are champions. We're not average, we're champions. Um, I didn't know this, I didn't realize this, but 91% of the thoughts we have are the same thoughts we have over and over again. Oh my gosh. Which is why people stay stuck. A lot of times I'm sure it's worry and different other kind of negative loop thoughts that we can have. Um, but he said this is so encouraging. If you change 10% of your thoughts, then you can change your life. So that's really encouraging. Um, what you believe about yourself is going to govern everything in your life. So you need to guard that at all costs. I love that. Just reminded me of Proverbs 4:23, which is above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. I know he's talking about thoughts, but it just reminded me. I feel like it's connected. I'm not a theologian, but that I liked that reminder. Of course, he talks about faith, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that's true. Like that was written from a place of someone of Paul, right? Going through terrible trials and things. And he just said, I can do all things through Christ. I thought it was really interesting, the reticular activating system, that part in our brain. And this is also, I remember this from PT school, that if you're laying down, your reticular activating system is wants to settle down and like sleep. And so that is why if that's why I didn't study laying down. I always studied sitting up because I wanted to keep that system in my brain alert, keep my brain alert. I do remember that. I don't remember everything from PT school, but do remember that. So anyhow, getting into chapter 4 really quick. Really, he just really gets into changing that identity. Changing your self-identity is then gonna gain that winning confidence and self-belief and change everything for you. So it's that habit of keeping promises to yourself, because then that develops self-confidence, and I think sorry, Steve, like you may struggle with this, but I think it's really easy for women to like not keep those promises. Like I'm prepping for a book club. My daughter comes in. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't look at your stuff right now. I want to see it, but I can't do it right now. I have to look. I have to finish prepping. I want to make sure I'm prepared for my team. Well, it just will take a minute. I said, I know it'll only take a minute, but I have to get to this first, right? Like, and honestly, it's taken me time to get that, because I can easily get pulled in all of these directions. And then I'm not keeping the promise to myself that I'll be prepared, and then not be prepared for you all, right? And I don't want that. So, um, I like how he talks about proximity as power. So finding those people that have those high thermostats and getting in with them, because we talk about this. John Maxwell talks about this, like hanging out with the 5 people that are successful you're going to be the 6th one. Hang out with 5 people that are average and not controlling their mindset, you're going to be the 6th one. And proximity is power. Eric Worre talks about this. Like, get people in with leaders. I don't follow golds on in this business. I've always followed the jewels. I've always followed the jewels and diamonds. That's who I'm following. I'm friends with other people. I'm definitely friends with my downline, and I like to be supportive to my downline, but I'm looking to my jewels to be inspired and to be held accountable. Like, what standard are they maintaining, and how can I do that too? Um, I like how he just says, like, do massive amounts of work in a short time. Challenge yourself. Like, don't settle for 10 calls a day. Settle for 100 calls a day and don't spend all day doing it. Get it done. He talks about that in the habit chapter. Like, he does more before most people get up for the day than people, before when some other people are out of bed. He's already had a whole day. And then, oh, sorry, let me read my horrible writing over here. Confident people take ownership of their faults and mistakes. And I think, we think that the confident people don't own up to that. And I just don't think that's true. I really do think that confident people, unless they're fake confident, they do say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I really screwed up." That's just something to keep in mind, that it doesn't make us less confident, it doesn't make us less competent either by saying we're sorry. Like, did you notice that the Monday call post went up today, and I told the girls like I would do it, and then I had one job, y'all. I had one job, Elizabeth, didn't do it. I put it up today. I'm like, well, you know what? The recording is still here. Like, this is still valuable. And I had to apologize. Like, you guys, I had one job. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. Thankfully, it's Plexus. It's not, an IV bag, right? Like, thank the Lord I'm not a nurse. I don't know. But anyway, that was what I had kind of to say. And I'd love to hear your thoughts now that we only have 10 minutes. 4 chapters was kind of a lot of information, even though it's a tiny book.
Okay, so you guys might have seen Kinley in the background as we're getting things done. I mean, it's crazy time around here, right? And she happened to hear, she's like, "What? Fallon didn't have shoes for her kids? She's like a gazillionaire." And I'm like, "Yeah, honey." I said, "She was in a really bad state of affairs, and then she really worked hard, and this is what she's been able to achieve." And she's like, "Mom, are you going to be a millionaire?" I'm like, "Well, someday, we just got to keep working hard. And as long as you've got your mindset and you're doing the work, you'll eventually get to the goals that you want to get to." So I have to admit, I did worse than Elizabeth on failing. I don't have the book yet because I didn't order it. And in the UP, it takes 8 years to get up here. So that was definitely something that I picked up is, put your mindset to something, stick to it, stay consistent, do it, and you'll get there eventually. Everybody's timeline is different. So that's just something I picked up on that Kinley picked up on as well. So it's good for families too.
And if you follow the Ed Mylett podcast, he like read part of this book in one of his podcasts recently. I honestly just like click podcast, like, okay, I'm listening to Ed Mylett, click. I do that a couple days a week. The other times when I'm listening to stuff, I actually am very intentional and like, what is it? Like, we talk about what is it I want to study. But when I'm like, okay, I need some inspiration, Ed Mylett, I just click it. So I can't tell you which episode it was, but it was recent.
So much great information in these 4 little chapters. It is a small book, but it's packed full. What hit home to me was like the habits, like forming those habits so you don't have to think about it. Like you said, like when we brush our teeth, we brush our teeth. When we fold clothes, we are just folding clothes. Our brain is like other places, right? And having those habits in place kind of, it allows the brain space to grow in other ways, and then it frees up time for more difficult problem solving and creative thinking, which is huge. But if you don't have those habits established, you spend so much time concentrating on like working out, like, oh, I have to go work out. Oh, I have to go work out. Like it consumes you until you do it, if you do it. Where if it was just automatic, you get up, you go for your walk, you go to the gym, whatever it is, it frees up the rest of your day to think about other things and to grow and expand. So habits are so incredibly important. And, we all get thrown for a loop with different things in life. Death of a loved one, grief sneaks up on you, different things, transitionings in life, those type of things can throw you off and can throw those habits off sometimes. So reestablishing them and getting back on them is so important.
Yeah. Craig Groeschel talks a lot about habits too. And like I do this to a point and I eat the same things like over and over again until I'm sick of them. And then I have to find new things to eat over and over again until I'm sick of those. And then I can go back to the other ones. But Craig Groeschel really talks about these, like, it's boring, like doing the boring on repeat. Because when those like you said, when those habits are established, then you can free up your brain for other creative things and things. The working out, like, that's huge. Like, honestly, to think about, like, it's huge on so many levels, right? If you're like, okay, I'm gonna go work out. Like he talks about this too in the book. Like in January, the gym is the busiest and then it dies off because honestly, people are like, what do I do? I'm here. And you can see it if you have ever been a Planet Fitness member and you have a routine or you know what you're like, whatever, you have your routine and you see people in January and they go from the bike to the treadmill to the this, and then they go to these machines and they do a couple things and then they leave because they don't know what they're doing. Look how much brain space that's taking up, right? Like if you are not currently working out and that's something you'd like to pursue, I really recommend finding something that's gonna honestly tell you what to do. Like find an app that gives you different exercise routines you can follow. I mean, that was huge with Pivotal. Pivotal had great routines in there. My gym, I just have to show up and they tell me what to do. And again, this is probably the only area of my life where I'm like, please just tell me exactly what to do. But you know, but I that was a really good example, Rochelle. Just this mind consuming. Melissa is loving the tonal thing because it like I think it writes her workouts for her basically, right? It's telling her and she's really, really sticking with it. She posts it all the time. And I mean, honestly, should get a commission for that because she's probably selling them because she's consistently using it and consistently posting about it and she's getting results and right? It's just like with Plexus, just share what works and don't overthink it and you will sell. You will sell the stuff. You will sell some Plexus.
Oh, for sure. It's huge to just have someone, tell you what to do. I mean, that's what I love about my tempo studio that I have. And I mean, you said it right. You just show up a little bit better. What I really liked about the chapters too is that we're always growing. I mean, there's always something you want to do better and grow better. And they talked about how so many people, past the age of 20 something don't grow, don't continue to expand themselves. Max, you're getting applesauce in my eye. But I mean, just sticking with it, it makes us unique and special, and you can deal with whatever life comes with you, like Max that just got applesauce all over his pajamas. And it rubs off on your kids. We were listening to you earlier, and Max is like, oh, I love Jesus too. I really like God. And we love you.
It's okay, buddy. We're glad to see you. Hi, Max. You can get new pajamas. It's okay. Mama likes doing laundry. Oh,
Hello, everybody. Um, I've been out for a while. This really spoke to me too. I need to get back into my habits, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But what else spoke to me is chapter 4 and my confidence. Remember 3 was the best one. Um, just developing your confidence, because that is my number one weakness right now. So I really like this. Glad we read it, listened to it today. A lot of good things that came from it. So I'm back.
Yay! We're so glad to see you and so glad you're encouraged and have action steps, right? Like we have 2 minutes if you guys want to share or put in the chat, even like 1 or 2 action steps from reading these first 4 chapters. That'd be really encouraging, I'm sure. I know mine really is to be more cognizant of like thoughts. You know, I really want to be honed in on taking thoughts captive and remembering that how important that is, because it definitely can be easy when you're in a stressful environment like this job has been for this whole entire school year. It's really easy to like cycle through about all the things that are stressful. So good huge reminder on that one. Aw, well, I love these. Writing down something we're grateful for and changing our thought, waking up with a positive mindset. The screen recommendations, like we know this, you know, we all know this. There's all this stuff published, and I really need to just not get on my phone in the morning. Gonna be honest. And I don't feel like it spirals me into some bad thing, but I'm like, I probably like what I want to know what's going to be better and different if I'm not doing that activity, right? So, anyway, I think that is a good challenge for me to change. But all right, you guys, I posted a little while ago, maybe right at 8 or so, the call link for team call, and I will put it in the makers chat too. So thanks for getting on.